So we're up in the loft of the barn at the MSPCA Nevins Farm, and this is Roger Lazay, the coordinator of the Equine Safety and Ambulance Program, and our hero, Dave. Say hi, Dave. All right. This, unfortunately, is Lucky. Lucky is our mannequin horse that goes to trainings all across the country, and Roger, can you tell me what we're doing with him today? He doesn't look so good.
Lucky is invaluable to our training program because what he does is he recreates a real horse. What happened is we've broken his shoulder. Actually, we've broken his shoulder twice trying to recreate rescue scenarios. One was in the mud bog, and the other was trying to do a trailer thing with his leg over a bar. And so, without Lucky, our program kind of screeches to a halt. And we did a temporary fix that didn't hold, so now Dave and I are going to try to do a permanent fix so we have Lucky available to us. We teach around 10,000, we've taught over 10,000 people with Lucky of how to rescue horses out of different situations. And to replace Lucky would cost $6,000 and then another $1,000 to ship him from California. So it would be a $7,000 investment that at the moment we don't have, so we're going to keep Lucky going the best we can. And this is our third fix. We've replaced a hook, we've replaced a cannon bone, and now we're fixing the shoulder. And I'm going to let Dave take over because he's the one who's going to do all the work while I stand here and talk.
Okay, so this is Dr. Dave today, and the able vet tech assistant, Roger. And Roger, you were telling me earlier that the manufacturers of Lucky say that we use our mannequin more than anyone else in this industry. Is that the case?
That's the case. When I talk to him about replacement parts, which by the way they have to make per piece, so it sometimes takes us a while to get them, he told me that he's positive that we use ours more than anybody else has bought one. There are times we use Lucky once a week. Not all the time, but we'll use Lucky once a week. And he's got a lot to do coming up. He's got a pony club appearance at the end of August, and then he's going to the World Equestrian Games to do training for the people at the games. So he has to look his best, and he has to be able to function the way we want him to. That's why we're doing the operation on the leg today.
So looking his best doesn't include just a curry comb. He needs a little bit more than that. Tell me a little bit more about the World Equestrian Games. What are you doing down there?
We'll have 4 ambulances there to cover the games from start to finish. Actually, before the start, when they start bringing the horses that have been quarantined from other countries onto the site, we'll be there with an ambulance in case something happens. Hopefully nothing will happen, but we'll be prepared to be able to deal with anything that happens there. And we'll also do some training of how our equipment works for people who are from other countries who will get an idea of how this works, and maybe our technology can go to a country that doesn't have it yet and help horses in that country.
So that's one of the things that you're doing with Lucky, is actually teaching other people in other parts of the country and even in Canada how to start up their own ambulance program, right?
Yeah, yes, we can't be everywhere all the time, but our equipment can and our expertise can, especially if we can do a training with Lucky. Lucky kind of acts like a real horse. There are things he doesn't do like a real horse, but when he's down and in a rescue situation, all his joints move like a horse's joints would move, and his neck moves. So we can use our equipment and make up scenarios that are real. The scenarios are real. We're just using the horse, our training horse here to cover that scenario.
Right. So there are maybe some organizations that might use a real horse, but that horse has been sedated, and that's pretty hard on a real horse to go to a training, right?
It is, and the other thing is you get one shot with that horse. You get one chance to do what you have to do because the sedation is going to come off, and you don't want to continue to sedate this horse. A typical training for us is like an hour classroom, and then we do a stall rescue. We do a trailer. We pretend our trailer's on the side, and we do a trailer recovery of a horse. And then we'll do at least 3, maybe 4 other scenarios that the students pick. And we'll put Lucky in those places, and they have to rescue him out of those places. We just did one last week in Spencer, last Saturday in Spencer. And the final scenario was a horse in a gully. and we had 20 people there broken into 3 teams. It took all 3 of our teams to get him out of that gully.
Yeah, and that's something that could actually happen in real life. And in fact, you've been out on real rescues where these types of scenarios have occurred, right?
Absolutely. Everything that we do could happen. Most of it has happened. I mean, we did one in Vermont where the horse was in an electrical room it was, the barn kind of did horses and it did concerts, and we were in the electrical room for the concerts. I don't think a horse will get in there. It could happen because horses have been known to go almost anywhere.
Right.
But the gully situation, this was at the 4-H Camp Marshall, so a horse could get into that gully very easily.
Great. Okay, so we're letting the glue set up. We're going to
let the glue set up for at least a couple of days, maybe even longer. We don't need Lucky until the 24th of August, no, 20th of August. So what we'll do is we'll leave him, we'll let this set for a long time before we put that leg back on, so it'll be real strong for us. And we'll do it before the 20th, so we know if we have an issue, we can come back and redo things.
All right, so Lucky, good luck to you, and we'll see you at the WEGs. Thanks, Roger.
Thanks.